March 2nd, 2020. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 203 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Mike, how are you? How are you? Are you well?
No.
Okay.
We've all been sick, our whole household, and for weeks.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on and on.
So again, we have a late episode here because of an ailment.
Yes.
Well,
my daughter, who never gets sick, I mean, she's probably had two colds her whole life. 16 years, two colds. She never, ever gets sick. She got the flu.
Yeah.
And she was throwing up and coughing and 102 temperature, and she was down for 4 days. And the day we were supposed to do the podcast, I stayed home because I woke up, felt miserable, stomach ache, and I thought, great, I've got it, because she had had it for a couple of days. And it turns out I did not have a temperature, but I have a severe cold. I'm all stuffed up, and I don't know.
You hear it a little bit still.
Yeah, if it's sinus infection or what. But it's driving me crazy.
Well, we were going to record last night, but then you said, well, how about we go to the casino instead? Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I agree.
Well, we have to set our priorities straight.
That's right. And you weren't completely 100% feeling well enough to do the show.
No, so I don't want to get your family sick.
Right.
So thousands of people in the casino,
Well, they're all wearing masks right now anyway. So you're okay, yeah.
It was particularly slow there last night, did you think?
Absolutely. And I think the reason is because today we're recording the next day. Today is their end of the month giveaway. I think that most of the people are showing up today.
Although some of it may be people are staying away. I mean, and I don't blame them because, and it's not just, worried about coronavirus. It's worried about this cold and flu that's going on.
Oh, yeah. My sister, I just heard, is deathly sick.
Yes, I saw your dad this morning. He told me, I said, what are you doing this week? And he said, nothing. Dana's so sick.
Yeah, she really is.
And she's probably got what we had.
That's what I figured,
right? Yeah. And my daughter, she was off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from school. She said on Monday, she had a class with like 10 people in it when it's supposed to be like 35 because they're all sick. Yeah. So,
yeah. And I went through it a little bit, but never, it was just like a bad cold for me. I took a day off work. But,
well, your immune system's strong.
Pretty much.
Because you don't stay up enough.
I don't stay up until 3 a.m.
Yeah, you don't stay up. Yeah, you don't stay up long enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, enough health talk. Let's move on to gambling. So since our last episode, we did go out to Viejas Casino,
right?
The casino out
as
by
we said
us.
We would.
So let's report on that. I thought we'd separate it into pros and cons for going there.
That's fair.
One of the biggest pros is it's much closer than Harrah, Southern California.
That's a huge.
Yeah, we got out there very quick.
Yes.
We were thinking, well, we're here.
Yeah. Well, it takes like 15 minutes versus 45.
Yeah. I do like the atmosphere there. Now, I think some people think the music is a little loud. I liked it. It was basically it was like a mix, like a pop beat mix, the whole time. So I did like that. But sometimes it was a little hard sometimes to communicate with the dealers. It wasn't
a couple of dealers
terrible,
even said, they could turn it down a little.
Yeah. When we got out there, they were having a watch giveaway. You hadn't actually signed up for a card yet, but I was able to get a watch. I just gave you the watch because I've already got one.
Right.
But that was nice. They have a lot of fairly good giveaways.
It looked like their giveaways were a little better quality than, say, Harrah's.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about the physical giveaways, not comps in general, like free play and things like that. But anyway, another nice thing, we've talked about this before, better rules at the craps table.
Yes.
They don't have the fire bet, but they do have all small, tall, and all the rest of the rules are what you typically find on the Vegas Strip. You only pay the VIG on buy bets after a win. It's the high payouts on the all small, tall. Actually, it's better than the Strip. It's the high payouts on the all small, tall.
Although I like playing the all tall, all small better than fire bet. Because you win more and it's
certainly
funner.
Comes up more.
It's more interesting to watch. But it costs a lot more money.
It costs a lot more. Not to me, because I'm not betting the fire bet or the all small tall, but
for me, I just put my $10 out for the fire bet and it sits there the whole roll.
Yeah.
This is, like $75. And then if it's a natural on the come out, then
Sure, I understand, but there are plenty of sessions where we don't even get an inkling of the fire bet.
Right,
but usually you're going to get fairly close on the small to tall and maybe hit one of them.
I think we hit this all small twice.
At least twice. We didn't hit them all, but we did hit one side.
We got very close to hitting them all several times, which is exciting.
Yep. Another nice thing, so you signed up for a card. Actually, at the table, you asked to speak to a host.
Right.
And you showed them your 7 stars and
the
what
host
your
came to
offers
the
are.
table. I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, that was
which
very
is
nice. That was very nice. And they bumped you up to the highest tier just straight away.
As every casino should. No, I mean, not just me.
For you. Dr. Mike has spoken. Drop Mike.
For everybody, they should match. Because obviously, if you're at Harrah's and you've got a diamond card, why not just match it there? It's good PR, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think they're afraid maybe that you're just going to, hit and run, right? Take advantage of those.
What are they going to give you in one? What are they going to give you in one session?
Yeah.
They're not going to. Even with me, they didn't give me any free play.
No, you really didn't get anything. You got some food out of it.
I got some food out of it, and the food was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another good thing.
The food was much better there than at Harrah's Rincon.
Yes, definitely. And we met listeners Neil and Bridget. It was nice of them to come out and see us because it was kind of a last minute thing. We emailed them and said, "Hey, we're going to be out of Viejas." We knew that they were in town, but they came out. And we played a little bit.
It's funny
with them,
because we think, "Oh, well, that's going to be closer because they're staying in San Diego." No, they were staying up by Harrah.
Yeah, they were.
So it was like way out of their way.
But thanks for coming out. It was nice to meet you guys. All right, now for some of the bad. This really did bother me. Before we went out there, I emailed the host that I had been introduced to before and said, hey, we're going to be coming out. I'm going to bring Dr. Mike with me. He's a big 7-star player. Give me a call back. I'd like to kind of coordinate with you. She didn't get back by email. That happens. So I left her a voicemail. She never got back. Even to this day, Mike, she hasn't gotten back to me.
Yeah.
No follow-up at all.
Now, that's weird.
That really did surprise me. Yeah.
And you were really impressed with her the first time.
Initially, I was. And I don't know why she wasn't contacting me. Maybe because I didn't immediately start going there every week.
Right.
We certainly gave him plenty of action when we were
gave
there.
Him plenty of action. The dealers were very excited.
Yeah.
Didn't one dealer even say to us, this is refreshing?
Yeah. Well, here's, again, talking about some of the cons. Only 2 tables.
Yes.
And there was only one open when we got there. It was a Saturday, right?
Right.
And
it was Saturday late in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like midday or something when they're, you would have thought 2 would be open by then.
We have mentioned how serious the craps players are at Harrah's. It really is a craps casino, and it's clear that Viejas is not.
Right.
Based on the action, based on the people that were coming up to playing, knowing the game, not knowing the game, that kind of thing. Although we did see some Harrah's regulars.
Yeah, we saw
Viejas,
some cheaters, some Harrah's regulars who were cheating on them.
Yeah, that's right, cheating on Harrah's. The drink service, I didn't think was very good. It took forever for somebody to come around.
No, and it's very limited.
Yes, that's true too.
It's very limited. I mean, they do have a drink station where you can go get your own drinks.
And that's what I did a couple of times.
Which is nice. But, when you're at a craps table, it's a little hard to leave.
Yeah. And ultimately, we're not going to get the same kind of comps at that we do at Harrah's. And this is a big thing, too, we've talked about at Harrah's. It translates to other locations like Las Vegas, and Viejas is just
New
its own
Orleans.
entity.
I mean, we're going to go to New Orleans and stay there with Harrah's. We're going to go to Biloxi, stay there at Harrah's. Yeah. We've been to Atlantic City. You're not going to get that from Viejas. No. And how long has it been now? Was it like 2 weeks ago we were there?
About 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten anything.
Really, nothing?
No, nothing in the mail.
Mm-hmm. Well, are we going to go back? I guess I could see us going back, but not on a regular basis like we thought we might.
No, we're going to go back, but
I'm sure we will.
Probably going to be more like once every couple months.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll go when times are tight, like time schedule is tight.
Right. We have to make
I get out of work late and, it's like, oh, gosh, that
we don't have time to go all the way up to Harrah's. Yeah.
We'll probably do that.
Anyway, ultimately, I guess a little bit of a disappointment.
I did like the facility.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very nice
and the crews
place.
were great.
Yeah,
I mean, there are plenty of good things
good.
to say about it. It's just, ultimately, we still have to give
It just basically comes down to the bottom line of we get more comps. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go where we get more comps. Yeah. And I said to the host who, was talking to me, I said, well, we go to Harrah's a lot, and we'd like to come here. It's closer. It's a nice facility. I mean, it'd be great. But can you match their comps?
Yeah, and you actually brought your...
I brought my flyer to show him how much I get every day. Yeah. And he's like, he looked at it and he kind of said, well, maybe, we'll see what your play's like. I could tell the way he was saying is like, no.
Yeah.
He should have just flat out said, no, nobody gets that here, so...
Yeah. All right, so for now, I think we're going to just be going to Harrah's pretty regularly every week. Speaking of Harrah's Philadelphia, here recently, they had a very long craps roll. 122 rolls that lasted 4 hours and 5 minutes.
Wow.
Making it the second longest recorded roll in history. The longest roll was back in 2009 at Borgata, was 154 rolls. They actually print that on their craps table.
Right,
the
right.
line
They have
is like
that, yeah.
But 122 rolls. Now, Mike, I just did a simulation and kind of played like I normally would, not knowing that it was going to be this huge roll, starting out kind of conservative. And by the time the roll was over, I was well into 6 digits. I imagine that you would probably be close to like $500,000 or more if you were on
with 122
rolls. Yeah.
So last night, that guy had a big roll, and I texted you every number. He made 23 winning numbers, and he had 2 or 3 craps. So maybe like a 26, 27 roll.
Gotcha. Huh? Yeah.
And that was like a $3,000 or $4,000 roll.
Oh, yeah. I mean, something like that is huge. Can you imagine 122?
No.
Yeah. That must have been something.
Yeah. I just love to be on that. I mean, pretty soon you've hit the table max, right?
Well, that's the thing, too. And when I was doing it, I was pretending that we were at Harrah, Southern California, where the max is $2,500.
Right.
So if we were, say, on the Strip where it's $5,000 or more, who knows where we're going to go.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. I know this isn't the most recent news, but it still seems to be making headlines, so I thought we should talk about it, okay? This Astros cheating scandal.
Yeah, some patient brings it up almost every day.
Yeah, tangentially, it does have something to do with gambling, because people, gambled on.
Of course.
On
well, in the
these
World
games.
Series, how many people bet on the Dodgers when Kershaw was pitching, based on him pitching, and then he gets lit up?
Yeah.
You find out later that they know what he's throwing. It's like, well, I was throwing money away because he didn't have a chance, right?
A lot of people are saying that this is worse than the steroid scandal and worse than Pete Rose and his gambling. And I'll have to tell you, Mike, I agree.
I do too.
Now, I'm not saying that those other two things were not bad, because they were bad. And it was terrible.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I'm not a Pete Rose fan.
Yeah, of those 3, what's the least egregious in your mind?
Yeah, maybe Pete Rose.
It's Pete Rose.
Okay,
It's
but at the same time,
definitely Pete Rose.
I don't think that he should be in the Hall of Fame. If he were to go to the Hall of Fame, fine. But the thing is, I'm not the biggest Pete Rose fan, not just because of what he did, because he denied it. And, it's everything that goes along with it, right?
I'm laughing because it's the Hall of Fame, Mark.
That's right. It's a Hall of Fame. I guess he should be in.
Be in there.
Based on my argument, he is famous. But honestly, I think this is worse, and they're not being punished. I mean, I would be absolutely furious if I were one of these pitchers.
Well, if I was an owner of a baseball team, and I know it's kind of like this little club for rich people, but if I was the owner of a baseball team, I would ask for the commissioner's resignation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because seriously, I mean, what penalty do they get?
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think this is awful. Thing, okay, Pete Rose, gambling problem, fine, whatever. The steroids thing, yeah, it's bad, but everybody's doing it. It's how you get ahead. This is, you're cheating, and it's only a few people, and it just... Yeah. I can understand arguments the other way, but for me, this is the worst.
For me, the technology part of it is what makes it really bad. Because they went out of their way to use technology to cheat. It wasn't like a guy standing on second base, and this has happened in the history of baseball, looking and trying to see if he can see. That's to me, that's part of the game. That's getting an edge. It's like, oh, okay, this is what he's doing. But you're not videoing it, relaying it on a monitor to the dugout, who's telling a guy with a thing in his ear that, hey, a fastball outside's coming. That is, to me, what chance does the pitcher have? Yeah. And there is that one pitcher who's suing.
Right. Basically because he says, hey, my career was ruined. And he's probably got a case. Right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well, if it was me and I was the commissioner, this is what I do. Every player who's involved, coach, manager, whoever, 1 year suspension. Hit them in their pocketbooks, no pay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not getting paid. Your $20 million salary, sorry. And then, after that, I don't know. You got to do something to the Astro organization.
To me, the players directly involved, I think they should be banned for life. Now, that's not going to happen. The players' union, everything, they're and I understand that, and that's their job. But yeah, this is real, because you're doing it. Somewhere along the line, maybe we should stop.
It's premeditated murder. Is what it is. Seriously, versus an act of passion.
Yeah. Right.
With people with act of passion, they kill somebody in the moment. You can kind of say, well, they did a bad thing, but they lost their head. These guys planned this all out.
Yeah, they planned it.
This is planned out. It's like premeditated cheating, and they got away with So what? They're going to be booed.
Yeah, right.
Do you think that guy making $20 million a year cares that I'm booing him?
All right. So anyway, that's our opinion.
Yeah.
We have that's all we can say is that it's our opinion. We can't actually make a move on it.
And the manager of the team knew about it by his own admission. And said that he told them to stop. And there's reports that at one point he took a bat and actually broke their monitor. But they still did it anyway, and they got a new monitor, and he's let it go. So if you ask me, he's as guilty as everyone else.
Yep. No,
I mean, you're in charge, right?
No, I agree.
All you got to do is say, no, we're not going to do this. We're better than this.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So we got an email from Mark. I'm just going to read this here. Some games in the casino specifically state that you will earn no points for playing them. Depending upon the casino and game, this may include bubble craps machines, the blackjack machines with the video dealers, stadium games, and roulette machines. And Mike, we even saw it at Bellagio.
Right.
The machines actually said you won't earn any
there was a
credits
sign
on this,
on
yeah,
it,
exactly.
right.
However, there is still a place you can insert your card. My question is, should you or should you not? My thought is that they may be able to see how much coin in you do, even if they're not giving you points for it. I don't see how it could hurt your ADT, but could there be an angle I'm not thinking about? Now, we don't really know the answer here, but it might affect your ADT.
It could.
Because I'm thinking, okay, if it's showing no credits, that's like gambling where the casino has no edge. So it's almost like it's putting in 0 ADT.
Right,
for the day.
But showing you were there.
Right, it's a trip with 0 ADT. Now, I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But
well, as far as the machine having a slot to put your card in, that machine was probably made by a company that doesn't know if they're going to rate it or not.
Agreed.
So they're putting that thing in there so that the casino has the choice of rating it.
Yeah.
Now, I think the casino should say something like, no, don't put your card in, block that off, put something over it if they don't want you to. And if they do want you to, maybe it doesn't even register. Maybe it just,
maybe. I don't know. We don't know the answer. We actually asked around last night at the casino to see if anybody had, and we just got opinions.
Right.
And again, we might not really get a straight answer from anybody who's in the know, right? Everybody's got their own opinion on that.
Right. And
but
it might vary from casino to casino.
Yes, exactly. If anybody has some actual knowledge about it, let us know. But I'm almost thinking like I would not put my card in in a situation like that, especially if you're playing other games.
You're not going to earn any points anyway.
Yeah, really.
If it says you're not
what's the point? Does it help you at all?
Yeah, why would you want to put your card in?
Yeah, so that would be my guess is to not do it.
What is their reasoning? What's the casino's reasoning?
I don't know, because even on those stadium games and things like that, they've still got an edge.
Well, of course they've got an edge. I mean, how could they not?
Right, and so, okay.
Bubble craps, 7's still going to come up more than like a 6.
Right.
So if you just put money on a 6, you're at a disadvantage. Why wouldn't they rate you?
Yeah, even if it's a little bit.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a lot, but why wouldn't they rate you a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But we definitely saw that. They had a big plaque on there.
Yeah, they
you do not get rated on this machine.
Yeah. Well, let us know if anybody is in the know. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click on our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to some voicemails. First up is Nathan.
Hey, guys, this is Nathan Roberts from Indianapolis. Just wanted to call and give you a trip update. Was actually out in Vegas over Super Bowl weekend for a buddy's 40th birthday party. It was a good group, about 15 of us, so it was fun. I got in a little bit early, stayed downtown, had Golden Gate, never stayed there before, had a couple comp nights. I like gambling there. I don't know if I'd stay there again. Rooms are small, old, just need to be renovated, but it was nice, good service. First night there, hit an all tall, all small at the D, so that got me off to a good start. Only had $2 across on all three, but still a nice hit. Yeah, as the week progressed, everybody else kind of got into town on Thursday or Friday, and it was literally the busiest I've ever seen Vegas that weekend. And I've probably been out to Vegas 30 times over the last 20 years or so. And been out for Final Four, been out for March Madness, been out for New Year's, been out for other Super Bowls, and this was by far the busiest. On the weekends, you couldn't really find any table under $25 minimum. That was on the Strip, that was on downtown at Fremont, still $25 minimum blackjack tables. A lot of the craps tables were even $25. which is a little too steep for me. I don't mind 25 on blackjack, but 25 on craps, gets a lot of money on the table quickly. Yeah, we ended up doing a group slot poll, kind of got the idea of some of the other podcasts and get-togethers that the Vegas community has, and that was fun. We ended up tripling our money and then cashed out and put it all on one hand of blackjack at the Golden Nugget and, of course, lost. And then, for the Super Bowl, we did a party at the Westgate, which every casino and restaurant out there now pretty much, they have some Super Bowl event or big game party, as they call it. At the Westgate, it was $185 a person. You got in 2 hours before the game, open bar, all you could eat, all you could drink. It was a great time, really packed. It was about 2,500 people. No lines to get food or drinks. They had servers walking around. They had raffles, a lot of big screens. It was hosted by a local radio station. So that was a blast, well worth the $185. Last thing I wanted to say, I had tweeted you about the bonus spin blackjack that I'd seen this summer when I was out in Vegas. I think it's called the Wheel of Madness, certain places, where it's the required side bet. $5 minimum, but it's a $1 minimum side bet that's required. And then if you hit a blackjack, you spin the wheel. So that's since expanded. I saw a lot of them at the Link and at O'Shea's. It's supposed to be the worst blackjack odds in all of Vegas, but because it was so busy this weekend, every time I walked by, it seemed to be packed. And it pays 6 to 5 on the blackjack as well. All right, thanks, guys. Hopefully I can get a chance to meet up with you down in Biloxi in April. Have a good one. Thanks.
Oh, good. Yeah, hope to see you down there.
My dad loves that Wheel of Madness side bet.
Now, Mike, when he plays it, though, is it a required bet? Does he have to make the bet?
No, I don't think it's
I didn't think so either.
He plays it at Harrah's Rincon, and that's a 3-2 table, I believe.
Okay, so it's going to vary depending on the location, and there are plenty of places where it's not a required side bet. So
but
that's
he does
good.
like it because when you get that blackjack, it's kind of fun.
Spin it,
I got a couple things to say about Super Bowl. Imagine Vegas when the Super Bowl's going to be in Vegas.
Oh, I know.
Because it's going to be in the Raiders Stadium at some point. Every new stadium gets
they've
Super Bowl.
already got,
Can you imagine what it's going to be like in that city the day when the Super Bowl's there? Because the Super Bowl has that, Super Bowl experience and all that other stuff. People come for a week. The casinos literally are going to be booked out for a week. Because there are going to be people who are going to go to the game. There's also going to be a ton of people who are just going to go to be in Vegas,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
And they're going to be booked out. That's going to be a madhouse. That's probably going to be the busiest weekend in the history of Vegas.
All right. I don't think that's hyperbole. I think you might be right. Yep.
I'm predicting that.
Okay.
Also, here's another thing, and I was thinking about this earlier. Why the hell doesn't some NFL team move to Atlantic City?
Oh, well, it's not a big enough city, Mike.
Well, no, but you could fill it up. Any East Coast team could fill it up. People would go, and it'd be great for Atlantic City. Or somewhere near Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Philadelphia is fairly close.
Yeah.
But, it would fill it up. And if they built a new stadium there, the Super Bowl would come there. It'd be a big boon for that area. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars move to somewhere near Atlantic City?
All right. I don't know. That just doesn't seem...
Think about 70,000 people 80 and above in a stadium.
Oh my gosh, the bathrooms.
The bathrooms, the ramps you would need would be ridiculous. But seriously, I've always thought, they need some kind of big draw there.
Well, they do need something. I mean, it seems like they're always, struggling to find their own
big
identity.
Draw. And if they had the Super Bowl there every, third year, fourth year or something, of course, I could say the same thing about San Diego.
All right, put together a proposal, Mike.
I'm going to put something together for the NFL. Roger Goodell, get ready. But anyway, Vegas Super Bowl time.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's
going to be awesome. And those parties, they're everywhere.
Well,
are they worth it?
I don't know. This sounded like a free drink and food, $185. If you want to do that anyway. Yeah. Now we've talked about it. I kind of like being at home for the Super Bowl.
You know what would happen to us? We'd pay $185. We'd have one or two drinks. We'd have a little bite to eat, and we'd be at the craft store. And it would cost me $8,000.
Better to stay home.
Yeah, better to stay home.
All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Marcel from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Just wanted to share a trip report that my wife and I took to Niagara Falls. She's pregnant, so she just wanted to sleep and eat. So I got to have plenty of fun gambling. Started off by going to Fallsview Casino, and I started with my $15 free play, which I turned into about $300 playing random slots. I'd just go to one. If I was up anything, a penny, a quarter, whatever, I'd move on to the next one. I got lucky and I hit a couple jackpots. I then went to 4-card poker, and that's where I spent most of my time playing $5 bets because why not? It was cheap. I ended up hitting a straight flush, so that was good. Made like $250 on a $5 bet there. The great thing about Canadian casinos is, other than having to pay for the booze, if you do hit a jackpot, you do not have to pay taxes on anything. So if you hit $1,500, you get $1,500 in your hand and you leave. I didn't end up playing craps due to, it was only one craps table open at the time, and it was packed. I do know they have the all tall small there, but I didn't get a chance to play that. I really wanted to call because at the other casino, Casino Niagara, I made a big mistake that could have cost me a lot of money, about $300. While I was waiting to get on the poker tables, I went and played 3-card poker. And I had dug out my cash and chips. I had thrown the cash in the cup holder of the table, grabbed my chips. I got called for poker and completely forgot about the cash in the cup holder. It didn't take them 10 minutes to find me and verify who I was and where I was. And then they called me back, and my money was still sitting there, and I got it all back. It was awesome. I can't praise the staff enough. They did an excellent job. So I will keep going there. Well, it's also an hour and a half drive. So, yeah, if you guys are ever in the area, I suggest Casino Niagara and Fallsview Casino. I guess they're both owned by Mohegan Sun now. So if you have benefits with them or all that, you could probably get flights and stuff down for free. Love your show, and I will send trip reports as I have them. All right? You guys have a good one. Cheers.
Good story. Happy ending. Yep.
So I think Marcel's wife should get Wife of the Year Canada. The Canada version of Wife of the Year.
Okay, all right.
She's pregnant.
Yeah.
But she goes to the casino with him. All she wants to do is eat and sleep, and so she's very content to let him just go gamble.
Yeah.
Wife of the Year.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Canadian Wife of the Year.
Anything else need to be said about that?
No, that's it.
I mean, Canadian Wife of the Year.
Yeah, let's go down to the award store. You know, they can make a little trophy or something,
thing.
right? Yeah, we'll go down there. We'll send it
World's
off to
best
ourselves.
wife in Canada.
Yeah, right. In parentheses, right. In Canada.
Funny thing is he left out the part on the way home. She wanted to stop and let him fish.
Wow. Oh, my
I'll
gosh.
just sit in the car.
All right.
You go fishing.
I'm going to North America now, if that's the case.
Yeah, right.
North America. All right. Next up is Derek.
Hey, guys. It's Derek in Utah. I thought I would just call and give you a little trip report. This weekend, I went down and stayed at the Rampart Casino down there in Vegas. They were offering me quite a great deal. I stopped in there a while back, probably not for more than a half hour while I was just visiting a friend, signed up for a club card and probably played for maybe a half hour on slots and video poker. Well, they kept sending me offers for 2-night stay at the Marriott that they're attached to, and then I got $125 in free play. So eventually decided to go give that a try. The room was great. It's off Strip in Summerlin. I'm sure you're kind of familiar with where it's at. Not very crowded at all. It was just a great time. The craps tables, they had the fire bet, 10 times your odds, which is more than I need. And it was an enjoyable crew. Everything went well. Ended up making a couple $100 there. But off of the free play, I was able to turn that into 200 or so real dollars. And for the next 2 days, I was able to play off, I guess it's my money, but what felt like house money. So yeah, it was really an enjoyable time. I'd recommend it to any of your listeners out there who maybe are kind of tired of the stress and all the people on the Strip, paying to park, all the kind of hoops that you have to jump through. On their blackjack, they had 3-2. They had some great options on video poker. And then the same trip was able to go down to the Joker's Wild, and they did have that Dollars Craps table in Henderson. And that was really nice just for my wife to introduce her to the game, get her comfortable. I know somebody mentioned it on the podcast a while ago, but lower rollers, just comfortable with going up to the table, making some bets, and trying some things out at $1 minimum. You can't really lose. So great trip, great podcast. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, good. If you're willing to go off Strip and off downtown.
Have you been to that Joker's Wild?
I don't think so, Mike.
See,
when
I went.
Really?
With Lynn and the girls. When we went through Henderson to go out to
Hoover Dam?
To Hoover Dam, and we stopped there. I wanted to check it out.
You know, there was that one trip where you and I tried to hit all the casinos in
Right.
Vegas. That
We didn't get into Henderson too much, though.
I guess not. That must have been.
It's a ways,
Okay,
it's closer to Hoover Dam than it is to the Strip.
So anyway, if you're willing to, make the drive, there's certainly a lot of good low roller experiences in Las Vegas.
That actually looked like a nice casino, and it's fairly big.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's fairly big.
Nice.
Rampart Casino. Now, wasn't that remember they were paramedics?
You're thinking of emergency?
Emergency.
Yeah, Rampart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was the hospital.
That was the hospital.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're thinking of.
Right.
Shows your age, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Whenever I hear Rampart, I think about that show.
That's right. All right. Next call.
Hi, guys. My name is Tyler. I'm from Wisconsin, and I had a question. I have a offer to play in a slot tournament at Mandalay Bay, which has a maximum payout of $75,000 in free play. That also gains entry into another slot tournament for the winners that pays up to $250,000 in free play. And I was just wondering what you would do with that much free play on a slot machine. Would it be best playing a video poker, or, just doing your best at high-limit slots, or how would you try to maximize that free play into actual take-home cash? And would you do it over the course of a day or two, or would you space things out? I just was dreaming of if I won it, what I would do, and figured I'd give you guys a call. Been a long-time listener and first-time caller. Thank you.
It's a no-brainer.
Okay, go ahead.
88-cent fortune gong. Every pull, 88 cents.
Wow. So to answer the other part of his question, you're going to be there a while.
Yeah. That might be like a 6-month ordeal.
Well, if we had to use the free play on machines,
right.
I think we're in agreement we do video poker. And
right. It would depend on so many things.
Of course.
So do you have to use it on machines?
Right.
Can you use it on tables? If you use it on tables, is
Does
it
it
a
stay out
one-time
there
thing,
yeah.
or does
Mm-hmm.
it stay out there? Because that's a huge difference.
Right.
Could you play roulette with it? I mean, how does it work? Could you get chips, or is it just, the vouchers that you
now,
have to put?
If we had to play machines, we'd probably go to the high limit room, play video poker, for at least a $25 machine, so that every pull would be $125.
Right.
And maybe even higher.
Maybe even $100, $500.
Something like
pull.
that, yeah. And I would try to go through it all in one sitting, to be honest, if I could.
Well,
right?
that would be the smartest thing to do, right? To get on a machine and hope that you hit the jackpot.
I guess. The problem is there will be so many W2Gs, coming out of that.
That
right?
would be the issue with that.
And that is really the downside. So if we could use them at table games, and they were the kind of free play that stays out there when you win,
right?
So they don't, take it away. That's what I'd prefer to do. Maybe just play a bunch of blackjack hands,
right?
Something like that. Now you're talking about roulette. You're saying, well, what if will they let you bet all 36 numbers on the roulette wheel? Try to make money on that. I doubt it. I don't think they would let you do that.
But there's got to be some restrictions, especially you're giving somebody that much free play.
Yeah.
But I'd ask for $5 vouchers. Yes. I'd go to the room, lay on the bed, and then just have you throw it all on me.
And I'll record it and put it up so everybody can see.
Yeah. And then they're all like gross and they don't go in the machine.
Yeah, I just throw them out.
Yeah. It's like flush it down the toilet. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
What was I thinking?
How much did you get out of that $250,000 in free play?
It's not really what you get out of it, Mark. It's winning. It's winning. The Houston Astros, they'd find a way to cheat to get that $250,000.
Where did this come from? I don't follow this line of thinking at all. I was doing a little skit where I was asking you how the $250,000 in money went, and then it just came back to the Astros.
Houston Astros.
That's a strange callback. I don't know. All right. Next up is Scott.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Scott from Boston. Hasn't Mark earned at least an honorary degree in something, craps, podcasting, something at this point? Can't you both be doctor?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was calling with a question and a comment. I was wondering if you could either discuss or point listeners like me who might have missed an episode or two back to an earlier time when you discussed your betting habits and progressions. I think you covered it once in the past, but I couldn't really locate it, and I'd be interested to know what your two styles are, including the amounts you bet, although you don't have to include that, and how you progress depending on what happens. And then I wanted to piggyback on a comment from the last show about Encore in Boston, which I visited a couple times and which does have really crappy blackjack, all 6-5. But it does have, in addition to a decent craps game, a decent Spanish 21 game. And I had never really played that game. Maybe discussing it could be a topic for the show. Also, maybe one you've discussed in the past you could point me to. But it's a good game, good odds, and a lot of fun, and a much better bet than the blackjack tables at that place. Anyway, thanks for your great show. Love you guys. Later.
Yeah, Spanish 21, Dr. Mike's dad's favorite game that unfortunately they don't have it here in Southern California.
No, it's hard to find here in San Diego.
Yeah, but if you go back and listen to episode 65, that's where we talk about Spanish 21 quite a bit. So episode 65.
You know, Spanish 21's a good game, and I don't understand why more casinos don't have it.
I don't know. You've got to pay the licensing, but I guess you got to pay the licensing on almost any game.
Almost everything, right? Yeah. And it's pretty good house edge.
I bet it would do well. And maybe they have had it before. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, it just seems like that would be a game that would catch on.
Yeah, and if you play it right, if you play a good basic strategy, it's not that high a house edge.
I mean, but it's better than the house edge at 6-5 blackjack.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway, episode 65. Now, as far as how we press and progress in craps, we talked about that on episode 184. Basically, I mean, just real quick, the gist of it is that I won't start being aggressive until I've at least made money back for the shooter or I'm up for the table. Sometimes I won't press at all until I'm up for the table, and you're a little more aggressive.
Yeah, more aggressive. And I think we mentioned that in that episode. It depends on where we are in the night.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
So if we're down, you tend to go into defense mode, and I tend to get more aggressive to get back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if we're up, we both tend to get more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So it's one of those things, depending on where we are in the night, how aggressive we're going to be.
Yeah, and how much more time we have to play.
Yeah, how much more time we have to play. Like for me, if I have a $60 six, do I take it to 90 or do I go all the way to 120? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when that hits, do I go to 150 or do I go to 240? I mean, it just depends on so many factors that it's hard to say. It's in the moment. I'm not as rigid as you are. You're more, precise in how you do that.
Definitely.
Me, it's like a whim.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
So, and sometimes it works in my favor. Sometimes it does not.
Yep, absolutely. So again, episode 184.
We should talk about you getting a doctorate, though. I don't know what it would be in.
Yeah, I guess I could just print something up.
Yeah.
And just insist that people start calling me doctor.
Didn't Bill Cosby get a lot of those honorary doctorates?
I think he had them for a while.
Quite a few of them.
There are probably some left over now that I could probably pick up that are just sitting around
See
now.
If you can. Hey, can Temple University give me that? You should write Temple.
It's just laying around, right?
He's not using it anymore. Can I have that?
All right. Next up is Robert.
Hey, hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Robert from Connecticut. We went to New Zealand last year and Australia, so I've been meaning to call you, tell you about our casino trip there for a while. In New Zealand, we went to a casino called Sky City Casino, and it was in Auckland. And they don't have craps, but they have this other game called Snake Eyes, or as we called it, Crappy Craps. Snake Eyes is played at a small table, kind of like the small ones you see at pools in Las Vegas. One dealer, and it doesn't have a pass line. The table has all the prop bets, and it has place bets, but you can bet 5, 6, or 8. Those are the only numbers they have for even money. It also has a field bet. So the way it works is the players place all their bets, and based off of my quick analysis, I decided that the field bet was the best bet, best of the worst, since all the place bets were even money. So I played that. I won some, but really the game was drab. The dealer was weird. She had a short stick, but most of the time she just reached out and used her hands to get the dice. Then she'd turn them to the 12 and use the stick to push them to the player. It's like, what the... And so all this manhandling of the dice was really weird. Also, she didn't like my throw, which is a soft throw against the wall. She'd tell me harder, so I had to fling them against the wall. I did okay playing the field, came out ahead, but didn't play long. It was boring. I also noticed that the field played double for the 2, but not for the 12, so more bad odds. They have info on their website, so I'm going to send you a link for your enjoyment, and you can see what a bad deal it is. I'll be interested to hear what you think about it. Take care. I enjoy the show. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so Robert did send us that link. It's as if they said, let's take all the terrible bets from the craps table and put them in one
feature
place.
them, right?
Yeah, it really is what it is. And again, big 6 and 8 and a big 5.
And
even
a big
money.
5.
Terrible. Well, I'll tell you, Robert, you were right. The field bet is the best bet on the table.
Okay.
And even that has a 5.5% house edge. And the worst on the table is that big 5. 20% house edge because it only pays even money.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah,
so as you think this is, I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of casinos in Auckland, New Zealand.
Probably not,
but
I
they're
don't know.
mostly catered to tourists, right?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Think.
I have no
mean,
idea.
I would think they're after the tourist money, and maybe they're trying to get people who are looking to play and. They just stuck, right? You know how sometimes you're stuck and you got nothing else, so you play the crappy game because you want to play.
There's nothing else nothing else in town. You're sitting eating food, so you might as well play Keno.
Right, exactly. I mean, what else can you do? Yeah. Sounds like this is a situation there. Although, usually when somebody's short sticking somebody here in America, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that means something different here.
That means something different
than just actually having a short stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Paul from West Harrison, New York. Trip report. Last weekend, went out to Mohegan Sun Poconos in Pennsylvania. A 3-day weekend, successful trip, $680 win, craps, roulette. It's a nice little casino out there. Good food, Ruth Crisp Steakhouse, great meal. Also, rustic kitchen, fantastic food. Bar Louie, great wings, great service, hotels clean. I had a great 2 runs at the craft table. Hit the all small. I'm mostly a don't player, but when I shoot, I play the line and the boxes. I had 2 beautiful runs, 2 small wins at the roulette table. I play the outside, the colors. And I definitely recommend it, a casino to go to. It's a local person's casino, but the hospitality is great. The staff's great. The dealers are fantastic. Great service, getting drinks at the table, quick, fantastic VIP treatment. All in all, a great experience. Keep up the good work. Great show, and you take care. Bye-bye.
Good. I think that's the first trip report we've gotten from Mohegan Sun Pocono.
That's a great review. What do you think of Ruth Chris?
Ruth's Chris?
Yeah.
The times I've been, it's been excellent. It's a little pricey. And you have to order everything a la carte, basically.
Right. But we've been several times. It's excellent.
I agree.
I'm a little scared because they bring that steak and it's
sizzling.
It's sizzling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hot.
Yeah.
And then they leave it up to you to decide when it's okay to eat it.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would come by and said, yeah, now's a good time.
You're just sitting there.
Go for it.
Can I start? Sir, don't touch the steak.
I mean, the plate is on fire. The steak is so hot.
I'll be honest, it's been about 20 years since I've been to one.
Oh,
and now they've got that one at Harrah's Las Vegas. So we should probably hit that.
We were there a couple of years ago. I wonder if you can use your comps.
I would think so.
Yeah.
When it used to be the range, of course you could. Right. I think that was really connected with Caesars. But that's a good question. Yeah.
Because if you can use your comps, that's a great deal.
Yeah, we might want to try that. All right, well, we've got a lot of other phone calls, but I'm going to save most of them for the next episode because it's going to be kind of a short break between this episode and the next one. But let's hear one more call from Brian.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike. This is Brian from Northeast Ohio. I haven't called into you guys since my trip in, I believe it would have been 2018 to the Guantanamo Bay in Pittsburgh.
What?
But I wanted to call back today because we just got done. My friend and I came down to a small casino in West Virginia. We're shooting some craps at a very empty $5 table. Things were not going very well for us until my friend finally got the dice for the second time. We'd both done bad the first time, and I decided we're going to spice things up a little bit. So I clapped my hands together and said, come on, Lee Harvey's got the dice. So my friend then picks up the dice, proceeds to roll one away from the all-small and one away from the all-tall. Dice go around the table, 7 counts pretty much all around. We were both sticking to a 5-count and a 3-count respectively, so we were saved the brunt of the badness. Come back to me. I have an okay roll. Goes to Lee. So I said, all right, guys, Lee's got the dice. And by this point, the crew was losing it. They were calling him Ozzy. We were saying, come on, Lee. Everybody's clapping together and cheering with us. And he proceeds to roll the all-tall and one away from the all-small with nobody on any of them. Needless to say, I think that Lee Harvey really turned the trip around, and I think that that's hilarious. And I picked it up from an early episode of your guys' podcast. I wanted to thank you for everything you do and really spicing up the table and turning a probable loser into a winner. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, well, long-time listeners will remember that years ago, maybe back in the 80s, maybe early 90s, Mike and I were at a casino, and we got a real big kick out of this group of guys that called each other Lee Harvey when they were shooting the dice. Come on, Lee Harvey. Let's go, Lee Harvey.
They were like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, my God.
And at first I was like, what is that?
I know. We just thought it was funny. And then years later, we finally realized.
We figured it out.
Lee Harvey. Yeah, because he's a good shooter.
He's a good shooter. A miracle shot.
That's right. A little too soon, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's Lee Harvey. And so, yeah, we sometimes will say, come on, Lee Harvey. Let's see him, Lee Harvey. Ozzy. That's good. I like calling him Ozzy.
Yeah. Of course, people are going to think it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Guantanamo Bay Casino.
Yeah.
Yikes. That one must have gotten past me.
I love that in the notes. Guantanamo Bay Casino. The rooms are terrible. But the amenities,
I couldn't sleep at all. At all.
Right. The water dripping on my forehead was ridiculous.
Incessant. All right. Well, thanks for the call, Brian. And that's going to do it for this episode. Of course, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, recurring donations from Brian Dancer, from Brian and Sarah, from Josh, from Robin at Anytime Gambling, and from James. Thanks so much for those recurring donations. Also, a donation from Kevin, Karma donation for brief early March Vegas trip. You guys are the best. So much appreciate all of your work. Come on, hard 6. All right, well, hard 6. Good luck, Kevin.
There we go.
Yes. Also, a donation from Steven, heading to Vegas the first weekend in April. Here's a Karma donation for one of my favorite shows. Thanks very much, Steven. Also from Todd Goddess, our buddy, Karma donation for a trip starting tomorrow. And we got this a while ago. His trip's well over.
Over. Hopefully it went
Todd,
well.
hopefully you had a good trip. Also, a donation from our buddy Bill. Karma donation for a solo trip to Vegas, February 27th through March 2nd. Wish me luck. Shooting for at least one heater on the craps table. Yep, good luck, Bill.
There you go.
And finally, a donation from Matthew. Karma donation for an upcoming spring break day getaway to Del Lago Resort outside of Rochester, New York. Thanks, as always, for all the great content you provide. Oh, thanks very much, Matthew. Good luck.
Have we ever had a review of Del Lago Resort?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't remember that. So maybe, Matthew will call in and give us a report on that casino.
Yeah, please do, Matthew. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listing showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. Okay, Dr. Mike, are you going to be well enough to record next week?
Yes, I think I will be.
Okay.
I will make special efforts to
All right.
be.
Okay.
I wanted to say, I'm hoping that a lot of people come out and see us in Biloxi.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good trip.
Yeah, and I think not too far for East Coasters.
I mean, it depends. What's nice is that this location is further away from almost anywhere we've gone before.
Right.
So maybe a lot of people who kind of live around that area, who haven't been able to make it to Connecticut or Vegas or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was thinking you're reading the Karma donations, and I'm like, well, maybe, like James, I don't know, in New York. I don't know how big a trip that is.
Well, I think it's pretty big. It's probably as big as coming from here, to be honest with you, right?
Really?
I think
I
so.
guess
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
But anyway, hopefully a lot of people will visit us there,
Yep.
and that'll be a good time. And hopefully the weather will be good, and the planes will be flying in April.
Yeah, really. People will actually be traveling, yes.
Yeah, that's another concern.
Yep.
And once again, we're heading into our favorite time of the season.
Baseball season.
Baseball season is starting,
right.
and
March Madness right around the corner.
is coming.
Yep.
We need to go over some pools.
Okay. We'll talk about maybe some March Madness pools. Yeah, that's good. Maybe I'll start putting a list together.
Yeah, put a list together. Remember we talked about that before we were going to go over?
We were going to go at least for football. Maybe I'll reach out to Vinny Chen's too and see, what kind of March Madness pools he's involved in.
Because there's a lot of different kinds.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's always a fun thing.
Yeah.
And my advice is, put all your money on San Diego State.
That's good advice. You can actually use their name now because they finally lost a game.
Yeah, right.
So you can't jinx them now.
I can't jinx them now. They did lose a game.
Famous last words.
We threw that game. We threw that game. Just to get the money.
They gave it to. Sure, of course. Now there's a lot less pressure. Now you can go on to the end.
Right. Just go on and win it all.
Yeah.
Boy, if San Diego State won it all, Mark, it'd be maybe the 6th or 7th biggest thing in my life.
That might be, from a San Diego sports standpoint, the most that I could hope for.
Right.
Because after that, nothing else is coming our way.
No, the Padres are never going to win anything again, ever.
Nope.
And we don't have a football
I don't
team.
think so, no.
No. As far as I know, we've got minor league hockey.
Yeah, and that's good, actually,
and
here.
It's actually good.
Yep.
And we have minor league soccer, which is actually
that's
pretty
good, too. Indoor soccer, too.
Indoor soccer, which is always good. Yep. So, anyway, that's our thing for San Diego. And meanwhile, we'll just keep going out to Harrah's. What can we do?
There's nothing else we can do. It's what we do.
It's what we do.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Oh, sweet mother, I love you, Dr. Mike.